Good day everyone, so let's talk a bit about time and money and how it relates to Genshin Impact. Now, a lot of people, especially people who are casual, have said in the past, well, they like Genshin because it's such a casual game, because they don't have to spend so much time in it, and hence if someone were to give optional endgame content in the game, it would be unfair towards them. And also people from the West don't understand that the reason we from the Chinese community spend a lot of money on the game is because we only have a limited time to play, and hence we can't get all the primo gems, and thus it justifies us wailing on the game, because if we wail, we have stronger characters, we can clear things faster, and we won't feel left out. In other words, we spend because we respect our own time. Now, in my opinion, this is a pretty much a sort of Tectone-like take, and it's so wrong. It's one of the most backwards ways of thinking about life and money, and let me sort of explain. When you spend an amount of money on something or some experience and so on, the amount that you spend should be commensurate with the amount of time and utility that you get out of having spent on it. So for instance, let's take a practical example. Currently at my house, I've got a $7,000 PC, and you might be like, okay, well, that's kind of expensive, until you sort of understand that I not only use the PC to play Genshin Impact, to sort of watch videos and movies and anime and all these things. I also use it to actually model and render characters. I use it to host a bunch of server clusters, a bunch of databases. I use it to train a bunch of AI models. I use it to manage my investments through the API that you can use from interactive brokers and so on. There's a lot that I use it. I use it for leisure, and I use it in a professional capacity to make money. Hence, the amount of time that I spend in front of my screen with my computer and the requirements that I need to do high performance computing justifies the price. There's so much that I'm getting out, and I've had this PC for about 2 or 3 years now, and in my opinion it's been a great, fantastic purchase. I've got something that is reliable and something that I can use consistently. Think about this. Why would I pay for something only to not use it that much? Now, a lot of people might say, yeah, but look, people, for instance, like Tectone or content creators, and they value their time because they've got many other things to do. But in this case, what they're doing is they're actively running a business, they're running a show. The fact that they're spending money is not a casual decision. It's an active business decision that they're engaging in. That is something that is completely different from you that's a little casual sitting in a train on China, and you've only got like 30 minutes a day to play on a crappy mobile phone. And yeah, you spend a bit of money because you don't want to feel left behind relative to all of the F2P players and so on. Look, it is a strategy that you can use to manage your time, but I think the bigger problem is that people have lots of wants and needs, and they're not managing those, and hence they are now using the excuse that, oh, it's okay because I want to do all of these extra other things, and hence I'm going to make poor financial decisions by sort of spending on the game instead, and then sort of using that as a bit of a scapegoat to try and fit it into my schedule. It really boils down to being a time management problem, and I know a lot of people might say, well, look, these people are working a 996, to which I'm going to say, put all the money that you would have put into a gacha game, put it into a bank account, and start making plans to immigrate. Because if you're in a toxic world, a country that sort of promotes this environment, and you're sort of in a country where people are just this hyper competitive, it might be best to go to other places that are actually way more business friendly, or worker friendly at least. Hence the great resignation, for those of you that don't know what that was all about in 2020. Nonetheless, there are some people that might be listening in that might say, well, look, I'm an F2P, and to your example, I've used a $200 whatever laptop, and I managed to do all of these things, and I've written my masters, and as a college student I've also ran and trained AI models. And it's just like, yeah, I get it, but at the end of the day, what people like you don't really understand is that people like me can curate their experiences however they want, because people like me have put in time and effort to be at a point where I can make enough money but have enough time to enjoy the things that I want without compromising on the quality of the experience, because it's not a rushed experience. It's not something that I am paying for just so that I can get through it. If you guys follow what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, that is how I manage things, and I think it's far more logical.